Welcome back to Extra Time, everybody. Greg Lawless, Shep Messing, and Jason, the producer. Act 2. 2 is the loneliest number. It's the loneliest number since the number 1, that is. And since we're into Game 2 of the conference semifinals, things are going to get even more interesting. And we're going to break down a couple of those matchups in today's show. We'll start with the Chicago-New England series. New England did the job at home. They gave up a goal, but they came back, got a 2-1 win. Moving forward, though, let's look at the second game. They go back to Chicago, where the Fire have struggled this season, and they're having trouble scoring right now.
Chicago's struggled at home for the past few seasons. They're not a dominant team.
It's the Bridgeview Water. It must be something like that. I don't know. But why aren't they scoring right now?
Hey, to say Chicago's not scoring right now, not only did they score early in the New England game,
but they
beat the
New
heck
England
out
gave
of
it to them.
Both teams beat the heck out of the post and the crossbar in that
true.
game. It turned out, honestly, I picked a 0-0 game, and I was wrong, and I was happy I was wrong. It was an exciting game, and both teams attacked and basically were inches off scoring 4 or 5 goals.
Chicago had a couple of chances. I think about the McBride when he knocked it off the post, which was a beautiful turn and goal, and the Husidic shot just, slamming the crossbar.
This for me was one of the better matchups, better games that we saw played in Game 1.
Yeah.
Interesting because Chicago made it a game by coming out and attacking. Blanco in the starting lineup, right? He's been coming off the bench.
Finally, it's about time, right?
They attacked this game, Chicago, and New England. You know how I feel about Stevie Nicol, and you could say whatever you want to say about their team. They take what the other team gives you. So they were organized, sat back, there were open spaces. They got their critical free kicks to bury the goals. That's a great win for New England.
Well, Chicago's defense will be picked up a little bit. Gonzalo Segares got back into the game. He started playing again for the Fire. I expect him to go 90 minutes in the second game, replacing Mike Banner.
He needs to.
He needs to because of Banner. I'm sorry, Banner had a terrible game against New England. He looked scared going up against Niasse. Banner's a good player, but he just didn't nail it.
He's a good player,
so
but he's a good
needs
player
to be
who's
in there.
a midfielder. He's a left midfielder, and he's good at that position, and he shouldn't have to play left back. Segares can play that, and he can get forward from there.
Definitely. And what about Conde? Do they get Conde back? Will Thornton get back? Thornton was on the bench for this game, so you could maybe see him back in there as well.
I really think that they need to get Conde back. And as much as, I'm a big Conde fan, I think he's one of the better defenders in the league. You look at that first goal that they gave up on the free kick. It was an ill-advised tackle by C.J. Brown.
Right.
I don't know what he's thinking.
It was a giveaway by Mike Banner first, and then there was the play, but all of that. I agree.
That's just even that, and then the marking in the middle on both goals. Yeah. Conde in there makes a difference. He can easily put Chicago over in this series if he plays.
This will be a different type game though because of the score, right? So New England now is not going to play wide open. They're going to sit back. They're going to be organized. You got Lorenowitz and Shallery Joseph in the middle of the field. I think they're going to challenge Chicago to try and find a way to beat them. I think this is a game that has 0-0 written all over it. New England goes through.
You can't sit back against the Chicago team. They just have too much. Blanco on free kicks, McBride at the end of free kicks. There's too much Chicago going forward for New England to not press at all. New England has to push Chicago back.
I think they'll have to press a little bit up top. Kelly Dubé up top and Niasse and Mansali maybe doing some of that. But I think Shep is right. This has a chance to be 0-0, 1-1. The Revs are going to play for all they need is a result. All they need is a draw, and they go through. That game is on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Soccer Channel. We know your prediction 0-0. What's your prediction, Jace?
I think Chicago is going to do it 2-0.
2-0. All right. Well, I'm going to go actually with a 1-1, and I think the Revs will get through on this one. The other game going on this weekend, Los Angeles and Chivas USA, the Super Classico. In the first game, it was a super mess, basically, as they ended up 2-2, a bunch of mistakes leading to goals all around, defensive errors. Omar Gonzalez with his bad back pass, Maicon Santos with his strange clearance. And even Maicon Santos' goal probably should have been blocked by a defensive play. It gave him a little too much room. Looking forward to the second game now. It's well, I don't know if you go, home and away, whatever. You just stay where you are.
Should look pretty much the same.
We talked about it last week about how LA needed their big guys, Beckham and Donovan, to really be game changers. And they were in this game. I thought they actually played pretty well.
Let me take this time to disagree with you then.
Because that would be a first.
If you're telling me that Beckham was a game changer in this game, I 100% disagree.
Okay.
I think he had a couple fancy little plays, a couple good passes. And to be fair, he had a couple good passes in the attacking end. But I would credit him with maybe 20 minutes worth of a game. I think for a lot of that game, he looked slow and sluggish. He didn't have playoff intensity to him, and that's what I wanted to see out there.
My perspective on this first game was it really was, of all the games, the most tactical chess match between coaches, because Preki and Bruce Arena were matching wits all game, right? You start out the game with Beckham central in the midfield, they man mark him, they push him out wide. I mean, these coaches were going back and forth.
Which is so funny to think that then it ended up 2-2 with all of these
sloppy goals.
Really sloppy goals. Now let's think about game 2. I mean, because the LA defense had some problems in back. Omar Gonzalez, we talked about him last week, about being a rookie and the nerves and all of that. Is he over them?
Wow. And you predicted it, Greg, because we were talking last week, and Jason made a valid point that Omar Gonzalez is no longer a rookie. You said he's a rookie playoff-wise. Right. He certainly showed it. Right. He comes back, and I think Bruce Arena and the whole team does. The only time they get walloped this year by Dallas, they came back, shut it down. I think they're going to be very sharp defensively, LA. I think they get a goal, they win 1-0.
The Chivas attack looked a little bit better. Galindo actually was out there playing like Galindo.
Yeah, and Preki actually noted that after the game. I think they need Galindo to make a difference for them if they're going to go through in this. I think right now, LA has, obviously there's no home field advantage, but LA has them where they want it. They think they're a better team and they can win this game, especially with a defense that's maybe going to calm down a little, get rid of those first game nerves.
Well, I know you guys are on LA picking over Chivas for the ET Cup, so give me your predictions in this final one.
I actually think it's going to be 2-0 LA.
2-0 LA.
I think LA wins the game and they don't give up a goal. I think the onus will be on Preki and Chivas. How are we going to create? They took advantage of mistakes in the first game. I don't think those mistakes will be there in the second game.
I'm going to stick with the Chivas bandwagon as I have the whole time. Here it is. Chivas is going to get through on this one. I'm going to say like a 1-0 win on that one. Well, who knows how many celebrities might show up for this one. Beckham playing his home game in the playoffs. That game is Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. It's an afternoon game out on the West Coast. That's it for Act 2, but in Act 3 we will break down the Houston-Seattle series finale, which might end up being the best of them all. So join us.